Thank you for coming to Wild Thoughts. Please put your hands together for your first act of the night, Marcia!
Hi, I'm the starter, which means the main dish is coming. But first, I need to get you started on things. Hi, my name is Marcia. I'm your racially ambiguous body, if you couldn't tell. No, I'm not related to Zendaya. No, I'm not gonna ask you to figure out where I'm from, Peru and Germany, which means I'm Latina. Woo! And I have a great passport. Woo! Great. So usually I do this routine with diversity hires with Jan. Jan's a very good friend of mine. Who's excited for Jan, everybody? There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we usually do diversity hires, and I usually talk about, like, where do you think I'm from? Don't be racist, all that crap. But today I actually want to try out some new stuff, if that's okay with you. Yeah. So this is a comedy show, so you have to be sort of engaging. If not, I'm gonna think you hate me because I have anxiety. Are you gonna be engaging? Yeah. There we go, chat. Okay. Right. When Jan told me, can you open up for me, the show is called Wild Thoughts, I was like, well, a couple of wild things happened to me recently. First of all, I got a pap smear. Do you know what a pap smear is? Yeah. Do the men in the chat know what a pap smear is? Yeah. Do you know what it, involves? Mm-hmm. Right. Good to know. So basically, recently I had a medication review, for antidepressants. Yes, I'm depressed, of course, I do stand-up comedy. But yeah, I recently had a medication review, and at the end of it, I was like, yeah, I told her whatever. And then the person at the other side of the phone went, you haven't had your cervical screening. It's due. And I'm like, and they went, it could save your life, and of course, peer pressure, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you can schedule it in. Maybe I won't go, but yeah, schedule it in. So it got scheduled, and it happened to be my day off, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna pull the plunge and figure out if I'm healthy or not. Turns out, first time I've been to my GP, so I live in Clapham, and I'm not Australian. I know, really weird. But I go to my practice. It's really fucking nice. It's a nice part of South London, the gentrified one. Yeah. I go to my practice. It's all really nice, whatever. And I'm just waiting in this area. Do you know who Miss Rachel is? Yeah. Yeah. Anyone here with younger cousins or offspring, children? We're at that age. Yeah, so basically, I'm just waiting here, and then Miss Rachel fucking pops out, and she goes like, hi, are you ready? Marcia. It's Marcia, don't call me Marcia, yeah. She goes like, oh, I'm sorry, okay. And then she goes, so you're here for a pap smear, and I'm like, yeah. And she goes, you don't look very excited. No, I'm not. And she goes, listen, it's nothing scary. Do you know what it involves? Yes, I watch YouTube videos. Oh, you watch YouTube videos? Yes, Miss Rachel, yes. And then she goes, so I just insert this here. I open your cooch. She didn't say cooch, obviously. I open your cooch. I see your cervix, and I put the swab, and I just take the sample. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So it's like a COVID test for my coochie. And she's like, yeah, basically. Okay, Miss Rachel. And she just goes, just take your trousers off, then cover. Okay, I'm doing it. And then I see their sizes. There's small, there's medium, there's large, there's extra large. Who the fuck uses extra large? I don't know. And then Miss Rachel goes like, okay, I'm gonna insert. Yes, I can fucking feel it, Miss Rachel. And then she opens it up, and she goes, I'm opening it up. Yes, I can feel it, Miss Rachel. And then I was like, you fucking take it out, it's painful. And then she's like, oh, okay, do you want me to use extra small? You have fucking extra small this whole time, Miss Rachel. And she goes like, it's just about the size of a finger, is a finger okay? Sure. Yeah, sure. And then she does the whole thing, and then she goes, well, you're gonna get this. Okay, yeah. And then she goes, if you don't have anything, which I don't think you do, you don't have to do this for 5 years. In 5 years, your body might change a lot. Yeah, okay, Miss Rachel, lovely meeting you. And I just left. She did ask me, things like, do you have a partner? Are you seeing anyone, whatever? And I'm actually seeing someone. Like, I usually make fun of my dating life because that's what stand-up comedy is about, isn't it? So I've actually been dating this guy for a few months now. He is really great, but he has one flaw. He's Scouse. Yeah, and he's really great. I remember one of the first times he went to my house. We're gonna call him Edward, okay? Like the sexy vampire. We're gonna call him Edward. We both love Twilight. So Edward. The first time Edward went to mine, we were watching YouTube videos as you usually do. And I'm very much so a woman, because cost of living crisis. I'm very much so a woman who does everything herself. So he goes like, yeah, let's watch YouTube videos, whatever. He pops on my YouTube, and the first thing that comes up is Brazilian wax. Moving on. I mean, in my comedy routine, usually I talk a lot about how I'm an ethnic woman who mostly dates white men. I think I'm branching out with Scouse. I mean, I love to say I love to season unseasoned chicken. Because isn't that what white men are, unseasoned chicken? And the thing is that I would have expected to put some, salt and pepper, paprika. In my case, because I'm Peruvian, some Peruvian spices, Peruvian pepper, all that stuff. Leave it overnight, like cook it, take care of it with love and all that stuff. In the end, I did end up with unseasoned chicken, and I ended up with chicken on a kind of cock, didn't I? Yeah. And I don't know, anyone like football here?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we like football? Who do you support?
Arsenal.
Bullshit. Okay. Enjoy ball in the league. Quite unfortunate. It's lovely. Are you guys dating? No? Okay, sorry. I was gonna say it's lovely to maybe date a man who's so loyal to his football club, even though they're shit every season in the end. But I'm a big football fan. I actually work in football, but I'm funny, so I wouldn't provide you with my talent. The thing about me, so I support London club. I actually support the best club in London, Chelsea Football Club.
No.
Yes. Where's your Champions League, mate? Where's your Champions League?
I just live up the road.
And now the person who supports Liverpool. We can't speak about Steve Gerrard. You didn't get it, okay? You don't have to. All right, yeah, fair enough. I want to talk a bit about my parents, because as you can tell, I'm mixed race. Yeah, as you can tell. My parents, my dad got me into football. My mom got me a good passport, as I said. My parents have a very particular marriage because basically my dad is very whipped. They've been married for over 30 years. And every time you ask them, how have you been married for so long? My mom just goes, and my dad just goes, I like her, she's pretty. And then my mom goes, sure. I just fuck off 2 months of the year and go to Europe. Yeah, people think we're divorced, but I just can't stand social events. Yeah. Those are my parents. I love talking about my mother because only so many people, especially being an immigrant, have a German mother. The thing with having a German mother is that you don't suggest, you don't want, she tells you. Yeah. For example, when I graduated uni, I used to wear glasses. My graduating gift from my mother was laser eye surgery. I said, Mother, I don't want laser eye surgery. She said, I don't want to pay for your glasses. Yeah. One time I had my wisdom teeth out. And she said, we gotta take them out. And I said, no. And she said, okay. That's the most dangerous thing a German mother can say, okay. She was like, let's go for a checkup appointment. You go to the checkup appointment. The dentist has pliers. That's when you know. You're not leaving with a wisdom tooth. Yeah? Yeah. Another thing, I can't see. Are there any bald men in the audience? That is my backup joke. I was going to give you a discount code for turkey. All right. I will let you be, if you're ready. Have you had fun so far?
Yeah.
Am I funny?
Yeah.
You have to say it, otherwise you don't complete, you diversity training at work. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm just gonna let you be, and I'm gonna introduce my very good friend, my cousin, as I like to say. We are gonna get our hands together and introduce Toby-Amisi.
There's a fucking lot of you here, bro. Thank you for coming out. Let's give another round of applause for Marsha, who just performed. Perfect. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. Give me a shout if you know me.
Yeah.
Give me a shout if you don't know me. I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna like me after this show because I've got bare controversial thoughts I've got to get out. Wild thoughts, you might say. Let's get started. Just a quick question. Who here believes that Black Lives Matter? Give me a shout. We're gonna do that again. Because those pockets of silence around. Okay? We're gonna do that again. Give me a shout if you believe that Black Lives Matter. There we go. That's what I want. Yes, Black lives do matter. They've always mattered. But whenever you say that, there's always one bastard, one dickhead in the room that says, yeah, but all lives matter. And you know what? I disagree. I don't believe that all lives matter, bro. I'm not here for that kind of equality. Because let's put it this way. Black lives matter. Women's lives matter. Gay lives matter. Trans lives matter. But people who work for TV license, they don't, I'll oppress them motherfuckers for free. Like, don't lie to me. Racism has really changed in the last 20 years in London especially. You know, we had this old school classical kind of racism and now we've got this new racism 20 years later. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie, I really miss the old racism that we used to have, you know, because at least it was creative back then, you know. This new Gen Z racism ain't working for me. Like, it sounds more like health advice. Now, I remember I posted something on Facebook, because I'm that old. I posted something on Facebook and somebody was like, oh, it's another black comedian. Why don't you go season your watermelon alongside your chicken wings? And I was like, big man, that sounds delicious. I thought you were going to call me a nigger, you're just giving me meal prep, like, what's going on here? What's going on here? One of my favourite racist talking points as well, my favourite racist talking point of all time is, you lot come to our country and you steal our jobs. I don't know why I'm looking at you as I say that. You paid for this, so it runs. You lot come to our country and you steal our jobs. And I find that kind of ironic. Confusing but ironic, because white people, just, I want to understand something. I don't understand how your ancestors invaded the entire world, colonized it, stole all the spices and seasoning, and then decided not to use it. Like, on behalf of the blacks, the Asians, the Mexicans, give it back if you're not gonna fucking use it. Give it back. Give it back. I was having a conversation with one of my close friends about this, right? And he was like, yeah, you like to make a lot of race jokes and that makes white people very uncomfortable. Are you doing this on purpose? Are you trying to start a wider conversation about race? And I was like, bro, of course I'm doing it on purpose. Like, think of it this way. Most black people in the UK are about progression, unity, and community. Not me. I'm here for revenge. That's my shit. That's what I'm here to do. The irony of all of that is, like, I've been in a lot of interracial relationships. I'm in one right now. Just to say, I will stop the show at several points just to simp on my girlfriend. So please give a round of applause for my wonderful girlfriend who is in the crowd tonight. I can hear her hate me right now. I can hear her brain. I've been in a lot of interracial relationships. Most of them have been fine, but some of them have been quite uncomfortable. Like back in the day, I used to date this posh white woman from Surrey, because that's where you build them. And one night we were in bed and she said some really weird shit to me. She was like, I really love dating black guys. I just wish I could keep them around with me forever and never ever let them go. I was like, what kind of slave trader are you? Well, miss, this is Hinge, it's not an auction, you know? Like, I'm not for sale, not the thing. I don't even think she was racist, I just think there were certain things that she was just quite unaware of, you know? Like, one night we were watching this movie from like the 50s, right? We're sat together, right? She's crying at it because she loves it. I'm not crying because I'm a bad man. But we're watching it together. And she starts crying, she grabs my hand and she goes, I really, really love this film. Do you think we would have fallen in love in the 50s? I was like, we? In the 50s? Madam, only way we would have met in the 50s is I started, what the fuck? Is if I was a time traveller. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. Nah, it's weird. Like, I think about, there was one thing that made me feel like her ignorance had reached a peak. Her ignorance had reached a total peak. This posh white woman from Surrey had invited me to a party, right? And initially I had two thoughts. The first thought was, maybe it might be nice to meet some new friends, meet some new people, you know? Let me be social. And the other thought was like, what if her friends are just as racist as she is? Like, what if I get there and there's a whole get out situation where someone's telling me to run before they kidnap the black guys? But I get there and I'm like, let me approach it with an open mind. We get to the party, I bring a drink, as customary, to thank the host for inviting me, and immediately the red flag hits me like a train. It hits me. I'm not the only black person at the party. I'm the only ethnic minority at the party. There are no black people. There's no one else but just... Racist. There's no one else at this party that's black or any ethnic minority except for me, and that makes me very uncomfortable because initially I'm thinking, I hope they like me, and the rest of them are looking at me like, we already have cocaine, send the dealer home. Yeah, that's how I feel. But I went up and started talking to people, started getting drunk, started having fun with these people, and the birthday girl comes up and she's like, hi, guys, sorry, I feel like we're quite segregated at the moment. I found that quite offensive as the only black guy at the party. We're quite segregated, so we're going to go down to the living room, okay? We'll just go down 4 floors, we'll go there and we'll play a game of charades. I'm like, charades, yes. And I love party games when I'm drunk. We get downstairs, I sit on the sofa with everybody, right? Birthday girl gets up. It's 2 words. It's a celebrity, it's a famous person. Now everybody starts suggesting people that they think the birthday girl might like. So all the answers make sense, they're all reasonable, right? So we're hearing Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp for some reason. But it's not working. The birthday girl's getting really upset, so she's looking around for an object to try and, you know, sort of make the game a little bit better, just so we can speed up. She looks around, makes eye contact with me, and points right in my face. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the game went left. Because these posh white people were not just saying the black people, they were saying all the wrong black people. All sorts of R. Kellys and Sean Combs. At some point, they decided I didn't even need a name. They started calling me Top Boy and the Wild. That goes on for a solid minute, and the posh white woman that I came with puts her hand up drunkenly and she goes, oh, no, I know the answer, nigga. Oh! It didn't even piss me off that she said nigger. The thing that pissed me off the most is that nigger is not 2 words. Could have said nigger man and you should have played the game, you know? That got me thinking about diversity a lot. For those of you who don't know me, this isn't my only job. I work as an actor as well, and I'm always trying to put faces in theatre, TV, whatever I can do. I'm trying to put faces on the screen so you can see what it's like to really live in London. And one of my acting friends asked me recently, Jan, why can't some white characters be black? And I was like, some white characters can be black, but not all of them, because it has to make sense. Case in point, Doctor Who. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. I wasn't a big fan of when they made him black. Because I don't understand the logic of making your main character a time-traveling black man. Because realistically speaking, where the fuck can he go? Every episode would be 2 minutes long. Like, Doctor, where are we traveling to today? Nowhere, bro. You can go wherever you want. I'm going to sleep in the TARDIS. Just don't leave mine in the 60s. Another character that I don't think should be black is James Bond. I don't think James Bond should be black, controversially. It's not because I don't think Idris Elba could do a good job. I just think the films would be too casually racist that you couldn't watch them. Like you see James Bond in some remote English village somewhere hunting the target. And somebody would come up to him and be like, who are you? I'm Bond. James Bond. Where are you from, Mr. Bond? I'm from London, England. No, where are your parents from? Like, where are you from? They went ahead and made Snake black for the new Harry Potter series. And I feel like that's racist. Because they could have just made him black. They could have just made him black. But instead they made him black with dreads, a bomber jacket, selling potions to kids. Why? Why? I also think that when you're trying to make certain characters black, if we're talking about James Bond, for instance, there's certain things that you have to change up in order to appeal to the black population, you know? Like James Bond's drink order. Does anybody know James Bond's drink order? Martini shaken and not stirred. Yeah, that's the one. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen a black man drink a martini shaken and not stirred. I've never seen that. We'd have to change it up. In a new James Bond film, I'd really love to see a scene where he's at the bar. Bartender approaches him and goes, "Sir, have your martini here." And he goes, big man, I asked for Hennessy with no ice." Louder. Also think you'd have to start off the film in a very different way, you know? Like James Bond movies always start the same. He's in a different country, he's got a woman in bed, he gets up, gets dressed, has to blend in with the crowd, sees his target, either pursues them by helicopter, by foot or by car, shoots them, then it's 007, something. And I think if you're gonna make a black James Bond movie work, you have to start him off coming out at the station at Notting Hill Carnival. With a spliff in one hand and a bottle of Roy and Nephew in the other, looking for a wine to catch. In fact, I think that is the name of the film, 007, A Wine to Catch. Saying that, there are characters that I think should be black. There are some characters I think should be black. Captain America, very glad that he's black now, because white Captain America has never made sense. I don't understand how the blondest white man from the 1940s wakes up in the modern day and isn't at least a little bit racist. It don't make no sense to me. I'd love to see a scene in the Avengers movies where somebody explains to white Captain America that black people are now allowed to vote, or that they can now sit at the front of the bus. I'd love to have seen that scene. Just a history lesson for Captain America. If you haven't noticed, I'm a big comic book fan. Some of you who know me know that I've been like that for years. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a giant nerd, okay? Love superheroes. The one question I've always asked myself is, what would I do if I suddenly developed superpowers? What would I do if I was suddenly Superman? Now, on some level, I do agree with everyone's right to safety, but I also believe in getting paid. Miss, what's your name?
Helen.
Everybody say hi, Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
Ellen, if I had superpowers and I saw, I'm just gonna come here for a second. If I had superpowers and I saw somebody trying to mug that lovely purse of yours, they tried to take your wallet away from you, I'd swoop down with my superpowers, I'd beat the mugger up, and then I'd give you your wallet back. But then, I would expect you to give me the money that the mugger would have taken. Because I put myself on the line, you see. I don't think I'd be a very good superhero. I wouldn't be a very good superhero because I would arrest everybody except for drug dealers. If I take a drug dealer off the streets, yes, the streets are a little bit safer, there's less gang crime and so forth, but then, who the fuck am I supposed to get weed from for Friday? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? That's the biggest cognitive dissonance I have with superheroes, that they don't get paid for what they do. It doesn't make any sense. Spider-Man is the biggest victim of this. We all know the story of Spider-Man, right? Yeah. Spider-Man, bitten by a spider when he's like 14, 15 years old, develops superpowers, decides to save the city, fighting supervillains for 6 years until adulthood. But he doesn't get paid for that. And so in order to get paid, he has to put on a spider outfit, take pictures of himself, and then sell it to the Daily Bugle. And I find that so weird. I find it weird that you can save the city on a regular basis, and you have to become a page 3 model to pay your rent. How does that make sense? How does it make sense that you have to fight the Green Goblin at 4 p.m, but then do OnlyFans at 6? How does that make sense? Quickly, any Gen Zs in the crowd?
Woo!
Any millennials in the crowd?
Yes.
My fossils, let's go. My fossils, we're getting older. One of the big questions that I know millennials get asked on a regular basis is, when are you getting married and when are you having kids? Now, the marriage question doesn't really scare me that much, but the baby one scares me. Because I work with kids and I know how scary kids can be. In fact, I have developed a system on how to work with kids. I just treat them like I treat crackheads on the street. I don't make eye contact and please don't touch me. I'll tell you what to do from back there. That's my thing. I moved away from teaching in secondary schools. I taught in secondary schools for a long time and I decided to move away because the secondary school kids were very rude to me. I remember walking down the hallway to get to my class and I overheard 2 year 9s talking about me. It was very rude. They were like, yo, don't you think Sir looks a bit like Kevin Hart if he didn't have a soul? And the other kid responded, nah, he looks a bit like Martin Luther King if he didn't have a dream. Hurt my feelings, bro. I moved away from all that negativity and I went straight to primary school and nursery. I went to nursery, and nursery has been the best experience of my life. You know, the kids are really lovely, but it was quite calculated. See, I didn't move to nursery because the kids are easy to teach. I moved to nursery because I'm 5'6" and I need a place in life where I feel tall. Everywhere else I'm short, but in that room I might as well be LeBron James. I'm at least 6'4". Teaching in primary school and nursery is a little bit better. You know, it's a little bit better because the kids, you just have to manage happiness and questions. Kids are just enamored by you as an adult. They just love to find out what you're about. Whereas secondary school kids, sometimes you want to help the kids, sometimes you want to fight the kids. I nearly got into it with a 14-year-old student of mine at school. Now, I remember I was teaching a very nice Macbeth lesson, right? You can't get any better than that. It's just Shakespeare and people stabbing each other. It's basically London, okay? Love it. I'm teaching these kids, and I've got this kid walking from table to table as I'm teaching, just having conversations. Now, we can't have that. I've got rep to maintain, so I take him outside. Now, bear in mind, as a teacher, I don't like to scream at kids. I hate screaming at kids. You have to start off at a 2, at least go up to a 5. You can't start at 10. So I take them outside, and I say to him, look, you might not like the class, and that's fine. You might not like the content of what I'm teaching, and that's fine. You might not like the fact that I look like Kevin Hart without a soul, and that's absolutely fine. But what you're not going to do is come into my class and disrespect me. So you have 2 choices. You can either come back into the classroom and follow my instructions, or you can go to the office and sit there for an hour, and at 3 o'clock you can come back to the class and we can have a discussion about your conduct, because it's very unacceptable. Now, this is where I knew that I wasn't dealing with a student, I must have been dealing with a gangster. Because this kid looked me up and down and went, sir, I don't think we understand each other, innit? Like, I actually think you're quite a good teacher. I actually like your classes, you know. But you must think I'm one of them youths in that classroom. Because the next time you start taking man outside, offering man options like this is the weakest link or something, I must smack you in your head, bro. No long thing. I remember looking at this kid up and down and I was like, look, first thought I had was, I'm a 29-year-old man who goes to the gym, I box. There's no way I'm gonna be beaten up by a 15-year-old today. It's not fucking happening. But then the next thought I had was, he's really fucking tall. And the stakes have never been higher. Like, big man, if he beats me up, I can't come into work next week. Like, I can't make no money because of him. And it made me think about all the bad kids that I grew up with. One of my friends here, we went to school together. We know all the bad kids. Some of them became rappers and some of them are in jail. But yeah, but while they're in jail, they're not gonna leave. I'll give it about 10 years before they see this. But I was about to say one of their names. I'm not gonna do that. But like, I grew up with one of the. I was talking to one of the bad kids that I went to school with. Like, we become friends and. The disparity between our experiences is so large. Like, I can't relate to some of the shit that he was saying. He said shit to me like, Jan, you don't realize how bad I was back in school, man. Like, do you know what I used to do when we came into school? I used to bring my knife in from home and I used to rob niggas in the toilet. Like, that was my shit, bro. I was a bad Jew back in the day and I can't relate to that. I just say shit like, yeah, back in the day, man never did the homework and that. But it's weird when the kids that became bad and became rappers start blaming you for how bad their lives went. And I always listen to the songs and I'm confused, I'm perplexed. They say shit like, where were you when I was making moves? Where were you when I was in jail? I bet you was in your mom's house revising for your A-levels and that. And I'm like, well, yeah. Like, what was I supposed to do, bro? Join you? The fuck? Makes me think about what I'm gonna be like as a dad, you know? Makes me think about fatherhood. I think about it quite a bit because of my age. It's only natural and my parents are putting a lot of pressure on me. But I've got a lot of fears, reasonable fears, I feel. Like, one of my biggest fears is, what if me and my partner, who I love so much, by the way, please give her another round of applause. Sorry. What if me and my partner have a child and we find out about 5 years later that our kid is dumb as shit. Like, really fucking stupid. And I'll never judge my kid for being smart or dumb, you know, because it's my child. Just, if my child comes home from primary school, they're like in year 2 or something, and they're like, Dad, can you please help me with the maths homework? That day, my child is going to find out that I am dumb too. And the scariest thing about that is, if my kid clocks onto the fact that I'm just as dumb as them, then how can I punish them if they've done something wrong? You know, my kid fucks up at school, and I get the call home. They get home, and I'm like, right, you fucked up. Go to your room. You're grounded for 2 weeks. My kid could just turn around and be like, bro, you can't ground me. You can't even do fractions, bro. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? What the fuck are we talking about? Being a teacher has taught me many things about working with kids, but it's also taught me things about myself. It's taught me one thing. It's taught me that I have a low tolerance for stupidity. I can't do it. Around Brexit time, I'm that old. Around Brexit time when I was teaching, I had a 15-year-old kid come up to me and literally say this to my face. Sir, is London still a continent because we left the EU? And I looked at them and just thought, your mum doesn't slap you hard enough at home. That's stupid. Teaching has also taught me that I'm a good teacher. I'm a good teacher, I'm just a bad person. Like, I'm the type of teacher that will plan to the teeth to make sure that the lessons are great. But I'm also the kind of person that will flirt with your mum at parents' evening because you missed out my homework. I'll be that parents' evening like, Timmy, you didn't tell me that your mum was a buff ting. Like, what? You didn't tell me that. Have we got any teachers in, by the way? Any teachers? No? That's rare. That's rare. I know there's one teacher. I'm not going to bait them up. But so, just as a percentage, I'm just going to ask a question, just to take a poll. What's the percentage? How much do you think? Fuck it, I've lost it. 20% of teaching is actual teaching. 20% of teaching is actual teaching. Just knowing what you're doing, just knowing that you've got the lesson, just making sure that your kids are on time, just being able to hold a classroom. That is 20%. The remaining 80% is cunt management. That's all it is, you're just managing cunts, okay? I want to do a little role play with you guys. If that's okay, would you guys like to do a bit of role play? Now, I have to select you guys because traditionally, whenever I've done this, everyone turns into a pussy. Nobody puts their hand up. So I'm going to select people from the crowd, okay? Look away now if you don't want to be picked. Sir, look at me. What's your name?
Mustafa.
Mustafa, nice to meet you, Mustafa. Everybody say hi, Mustafa. Hi, Mustafa. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. Don't pretend you can't see me. What's your name?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Everybody say hi, Yasmin. Hi, Yasmin. All right, we're gonna pick a final victim.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Perry.
Perry. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Everybody say hi, Perry.
Hi, Perry.
So in this role play, you lot are going to be the kids that I almost close to swearing at. The rest of you are going to be good kids, okay? What traditionally happens in a secondary school setting is you have 15 minutes to teach kids, right? You have 15 minutes, never really an hour. And you have a starter on the board. Does anybody remember like having starters on the board whenever you came in? All right, trade secret. We don't care about the starter. We don't care if you do them or not. It's just to keep you busy whilst I scroll on Instagram for 5 minutes. That's all it's there for. What will usually happen is you will hear, hi latecomers, take a seat. Right here, in the front. In the front, you're late for class. We're late for class. Okay, you're going to be in detention. So traditionally what happens is you hear kids making noise outside, and that's when you know you have to get them in. And you have to turn on teacher mode. And usually it starts off with, right class everybody, thank you, please come inside, quietly. Mustafa, I said quietly please, thank you, making no noise, thank you. Perry, thank you. Thank you. Yasmin, let's take a seat. Now everybody, please take off your coats and your bags. Put your bags underneath your desk and put your coats behind your chairs. Take your bags, put them underneath your desk and put your coats behind your chairs. Mustafa, where did I say you should put your coats?
Behind the chair.
Behind your chair. Yasmin, where did I say you should put your bag?
On the desk.
Can someone please remind Yasmin where we put our bags?
Under the chair.
Under the desk, okay? Okay, make sure you listen next time. Right, everybody now take out your pens, your highlighters, and your Macbeth textbook, okay? Macbeth textbook, pens, and highlighters. Thank you, you've taken out your pen, Ellen, thank you. Oh, you've got 2 highlighters today. No, very nice. Green and yellow, that's very nice. Juwan, thank you. Okay, great. Where's your Macbeth textbook, Yasmin?
I left it on the bus.
Right, so you have to share with Erica, okay? You'll have to share with Erica, okay? Make sure you bring it next time, okay? Otherwise, I'll have to call home and say that you've been leaving your books on buses, okay? Remember, there's not enough in the school budget because this is a state school, okay? Okay, now please take your books and open up to Act 1, Scene 4, page 20. Act 1, Scene 4, page 20. Mustafa, what act?
Sorry?
What act?
What's it?
What act? Ellen, would you please like to tell Mustafa what the act?
4.
Act 1.
See, somebody was listening. So when I'm giving out instructions, it's important to listen, okay? Do you understand, Mustafa? Do you understand? Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we read Act 1, Scene 3 yesterday, and we're going to be looking at this. How does Macbeth use rhyming couplets? Whoa. Yasmin, why are we having a conversation when I'm talking? Why? No, it's not a conversation. Why are you having a conversation when I'm talking? See, there's an expectation in this classroom that I'm going to remind you about. This is a reminder, okay? When Mr. Amisi is speaking, you are silent. When Mr. Amisi is speaking, you are what, class? Silent. When Mr. Amisi is speaking, you are what? Silent. So this is your reminder. If it happens again, it will be a warning, and if it happens again, it will be a detention. Have I made myself clear, Yasmin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, how does Shakespeare use rhyming couplets? Perry.
Yeah. I forgot.
Okay, so I had a conversation with your parents about your lack of attendance, okay? And they've assured me that you've been bunking off with your friends. So here's what's going to happen, okay? I'm going to remind you of the expectations here. When Mr. Amisi is teaching, you must listen.
Okay.
When Mr. Amisi is speaking, you are what? Class, let's say it.
Listening.
You're listening, you are silent. Yes, you are silent. Okay. Mustafa, you have a reminder as well because I can hear you talking, okay? I'm right in front of you and you're having a conversation.
Can we just get on with it?
I'm calling home today. You are coming for a detention. You are coming for a detention. That, in a nutshell, is my entire fucking job. Let's give a round of applause to everybody. And my heckler, who was my partner all along, please give her a round of applause too. Very good. Oh God. You know what? I feel like because of the way that I was raised, I'm going to have a lot of expectations about my kids. Like, I've been a teacher, and I've been... Any Africans in the crowd, by the way? Okay, so we have shared trauma. They're going to understand this next bit. But because of the expectations that you have of yourself as a child, it's going to transfer to your kids, you know? Like, I always have this fantasy in my head, right? I'm a dad, and I've got maybe 2 kids, right? And they're in secondary school. They're both in like year 9 or something, and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm just chilling. I don't have that much time before I have to go pick them up. And the phone rings, and it's the head teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, could we have a conversation, please?" I'm like, "Yes, we can. Is everything okay? Is Kevin all right? Something happened to Kevin?" She's like, No. Nothing's happened with Kevin. Just Kevin got into a very, very nasty altercation at school today during break time, and we were wondering if you could come in and pick him up and take him home a little early." And I'd be like, "Oh my God, I've never taught Kevin to fight. That's bad." Hold on a minute. Just between me and you, just as a secret. Did Kevin win the fight? Because if he didn't, I'm not picking him up. Tell that nigga to walk home. We don't get business in this bitch. We don't do that. Names are a really big thing for me. Names are a big thing for me, you know, picking children's names. Because you gotta pick a name that makes sense, you know. Like, I was talking to my partner about this, who I love very much. Please give her a round of applause. We're just having a chat about baby names. We're not planning on having kids or anything. We're trying to save money. But we're having a chat about baby names. And it was quite a conflicting conversation to have. Because on one hand, it's a really fun thing to hypothesize with your partner about these things, right? To figure out what names you like, to figure out names that you don't like. But then on the other hand, it reminded me of how much of a hoe I used to be in my past life. Because every name she came up with that was a girl's name, I was like, nah, we can't use it. He was like, what about Angela? I'm like, Angela keyed my car last week. Like, it don't work like that. It don't work. Funny thing is she's bi, so Every girl name I came up with, she was like, no. So in the end, we just decided to call our daughter Michael. That's it. That's it. Nah. We got some people from STM, right? Some people from STM. We got two people here. 2 people here.
What's that?
Give them a round of applause, because I'm about to dredge up some more trauma. So we went to St. Thomas More, right? And if you were an African kid and you went to St. Thomas More, I guarantee you have been hit at least 3 times in your life. It was that peak. I remember year 7, I was in the worst class in the school. They broke our class up and distributed us as if we were slaves into different classrooms. Ironically, it was a majority black class as well. So, started putting us into different classes, right? And I remember one particular day in year 7, I really fucked up. We went crazy. We went ape shit. Scaring off the supply teachers, swearing at people. I threatened to climb out of a window for some reason. Don't know why I did that. I ran home, right? And my mum, here's the thing about my parents. My parents had different ways of beating me up. Like, my mum was a weapons expert. My mum would beat me up with shit she found around the house. So she beat me up with slippers, with plastic chairs. She'd even take out like the, you know the curtain wire? Like, you take it out. She'd take it out and just start hitting me with it. Ironically, that wasn't as scary as my dad's, because my dad was more psychological, like prisoner of war type shit, you know? So I remember fucking up and I got home and my mum was like, I told you to change the number at the office. What she meant by that was whenever my mum used to hit me, my mum only used to hit me because of shit that I did around the house. If I broke shit, if I spilt shit, if I answered the phone and told my auntie that she was there, she'd beat me up for that. Because a lot of African parents love to lie and say, no, tell them I'm not here, I'm not in the house. That's what they love to do. But at school, they loved to complain about me too much. I'd either talk back, I wouldn't finish the homework, and at some point my mum was like, if I hit you now, I'm going to kill you. So change the number at the office, but make sure your dad's number is changed to mine, because your dad really cares about school. But when I go home, I realized that I never changed it. So my dad was coming. And bear in mind, my dad has not lived with me since I was 5 years old, and I'm about 12, 13 at the time. So I'm home, I'm like, Mum, please help. She's like, nigga, don't look at me, I tried to help. I'm shitting myself. I hear my dad's car pull up. My dad gets inside the house. My dad has not lived with me for time. My mum will give him the business if he tries to overstep, but it was the one time she couldn't let him. Dad comes in, she's like, go easy on him. My dad's like, points at me, tells me to get in the hallway. So I know my dad was a nutter. He goes into the hallway, locks the door, and stands behind it so my mum can't get in. Just a question, what do you think my dad did to me?
Whoop your ass.
What, my ass? I wish he did. Nothing else? Nothing else?
Said he was disappointed in you.
Disappointed? I wish. You know what my dad did to me? My biological father did to me. My father stood in front of me and told me to slap myself 5 times in the face. The worst thing about it was, he stood there and he was like, if you don't slap yourself hard enough, I'll show you how to do it. I'm slapping myself hard each time, crying with each slap. And it was the first time in my life. I think I was the first black boy ever to ever be like, I'm glad my dad doesn't live with me. I was like, go get milk and don't come back. Funny thing about my parents is like, that upbringing was quite peak, but they really instilled certain things in me, like my relationship to money. I have a weird relationship with money. I can't be broke. And otherwise it physically hurts. I'm sure it's the same for a few people, but when I'm poor, it physically hurts. 2016 to 2018, I was a student, and those were my poorest moments. I didn't realize how broke I was until I had to start doing the beep beep sound when I touched my oyster on the bus. And the bus drivers let me go past because they felt sorry for me. I remember being so broke. I approached the girl outside when I was with my boys, and before I could even say a word to her, she was like to me, sorry, I don't have change. I remember being so broke, a homeless person came up to me, asked me for money. Before I could say anything, they looked at my shoes and they said, it's alright, bro. I was so broke one time that I bought a Snickers bar, right? I gave them £1. It was 60p. They were about to give me 40p change, and I said, don't worry, boss, keep the change. As soon as I walked out, I thought to myself, I really need that fucking change. Does anybody remember Cargo in Shoreditch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cargo in Shoreditch. So Cargo was one of the biggest clubs in Shoreditch, right? It closed down in COVID, and since then the area of Shoreditch has never really recovered. It's been dead since then. Cargo was that central hub. But Cargo reminded me of how much I was really poor. It was what convinced me that maybe selling crack might be a good career option for me. 2016 to 2018, me and my boys used to go to Cargo all the time, right? And one particular night, we were all strapped for cash, but we were like, we really want to go out. The thing about Cargo was, if you're a woman, you could get in for free anytime. If you were a guy, it was £20 after 9 p.m. It was £20 after 9 p.m. Now, if you got a good job and you're balling, Cargo's nothing. The drinks are cheap. But when you're broke, £20 is maybe all you have. So we had a plan. We were like, the best way to do this is, you got to get there before 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to meet up at 6, get our bottles, drink at 6:30. From 6:30 to 7:30, we'll be done. Then we'll walk down. We'll still be a little waved. We'll be there. And then we'll have some fun and we'll let the wave die until the end. Now, on paper, that's a great plan. But what the plan fails to account for is the fact that we were all black and we're always late. So the drinks always started at 8 p.m. And this is where I realized I was too poor to be alive. We would buy our drinks, but we couldn't finish the bottle between us. So we said, let's leave it at the park in the bush. We go into Cargo and party. But because we spent money on entry because we were late, we would have to leave at 11:30 p.m., go back to the park, find the bush, pray to God that a crackhead didn't piss in it, and then drink there, and then run back for 11:45 and act like we had been drinking at the bar. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know how scary it is to drink something from the bush and not know whether it's rum or piss? I came so close to selling crack that day, ladies and gentlemen. I came so close. One thing I've realized about being broke, well, in the past, I'm not broke now, I'm rich, I'm the Old Spice guy. But when I was broke, I used to watch a lot of porn. That was my vice. That was my vice, because porn is free. Alcohol costs money. Pornhub is free. Fucking free. But I stopped watching it because it started to fuck me up in several places in my life. It started to fuck me up in the bedroom. Like, I remember whenever I used to have sex, the only thing I could think about was camera angles, bro. I got a woman in bed trying to emotionally connect with me. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, where should I put the tripod? Like, let's get this OnlyFans thing started. Porn fucks you up, man. It fucks you up because it makes you sensitive to everything. Anything can set you off. Anything can make you horny. Like, I remember being in my house years ago and I was watching something, probably porn. I'm watching something and all of a sudden I can hear foxes fucking outside my window. We already know where this is. One part of my mind was like, why are the foxes fucking outside my window at 9 p.m? And then the second thought was, shit sounds kind of sexy. I kind of want to watch. You see how that corkscrew dick works. Oh God. It's ruined two certain things for me. I'm going to leave you on this. It's ruined two certain things for me. It's ruined dirty talk for me, especially. Dirty talk. Like, I don't like being called daddy in the bedroom. I hate it. Because when women call me daddy in the bedroom, this sounds weird, but I start to feel more responsible for them. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I just want to eat you up, daddy. And I'll be like, have you eaten today? Like, what do you mean you're going to eat me? What do you mean you're going to eat me? Second, the weird thing is I can't do role play in the bedroom anymore. And it comes back from something that happened during my teaching days. Like, when I used to date certain women and they found out that I was a teacher, they'd want to role play in the bedroom. And that's all well and good. But the problem with that is I take it too far. Like, I'm too serious. Like, a woman would be in bed and be like, sir, I'm really struggling with the homework tonight. what do you think I should do? And I'll be like, go and fucking revise. Like, I've got standards as a teacher, you know? Like, are you seriously about to suck my dick for foundation maths? Foundation maths. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Oh, God. When Mr. Amisi is speaking, you are what? Silence! That's what I do in the bedroom. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Give a round of applause to EJ. Give him the lights and tech. Manu at the back for recording. And Marcia for being the first to perform. Round of applause to all of you for coming out tonight. Thank you so much. This means a lot. I'll see you at the bar. And these were my wild thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah.